Hey guys, this is Ethereal Awakening. I'm doing an individual zodiac sign reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your north nodes. Your heart is your best guide. If it resonates, then there's probably a message there for you. If it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, spit it out. It's not for you. No big deal. I do tell it like it is. So if something I say offends you, that's probably spirit trying to get you to pull something out for it to be healed. So happy to do so, and I'm happy to guide you in any way that I can help. I'm simply a vessel of light trying to help the population evolve. I've been through some pretty hard experiences myself, and I found me at the end, and it's been a beautiful journey. So happy to have you sit in anything that will help you heal. So again, this one is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Spirit, what messages do we have for Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and the sign of Gemini. What messages do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? All right, that one wanted to... Current energy was like, what? Oh, the Seven of Rods. Feeling a little defensive, but hopeful. The Star card. Spirit's with you, Gem. Spirit is right with you through whatever this defensiveness is. Queen of Swords in your heart space. Ten of Swords. So something is ending. Some sort of mental mindfuckery is ending. And Five of Cups in the possible outcome. A little mourning. It's understandable. And Five of Rods in the possible outcome. So underlying energy. The Lovers. That's all you, baby. Six of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So what you might not be aware of, underlying energy, is whatever's going around and going on in your external that's causing you to be the fighting, the defensiveness, because the possible outcome, it's like it's leading you where this is where you're going to, I mean, your heart space is done. I mean, this is in your heart, is wanting the fighting and the defensiveness to end. And when I see the Five of Cups and the Five of Rods in your possible outcome, fives are change. So this is good. This is another situation where the hurt, the grieving that comes from the Five of Cups, the grieving that comes from the Five of Cups and the arguments and fighting and all that's going on around you is necessary. It's going to pull you into, because your heart's already done. So this is what's going to complete this cycle. I hate to break this to you, but you're coming into a place where all of this has to come up. You're going to have to sit in some grieving. You're going to have to probably fight a little bit with those around you, because they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand why you're mentally done. But, you know, you've got hope with this defensiveness. So this is okay. This is saying the defensiveness is going to lead you to a mental exhaustion that's going to lead you into some mourning. It's going to be a little painful. But we are habitual creatures, and the more we do something, the easier it gets. So allowing yourself to feel the pain that's necessary to let this cycle end is going to bring you so much happiness. This is what's under, or you may not be aware of. This is, first of all, it's you. There's Gemini's card. This is an inner balance that is all of the wonderfulness that comes from... Well, I mean, you can imagine if you were in the best, Excuse me, I'm still trying to get over something. But this is if you could think of the best external, like, relationship you could be in, if you had the best partner in the world that had all the attributes of your Prince Charming or your Princess Charming, but this comes from within. This is recognizing these things as a balanced energy within. That I am completely fulfilled and whole all alone. I have the creativity and the know-how to get things done in my life. This is where Nine of Pentacles comes from. And this is you and your own energy. How beautiful is that? And then that leads to simply recognizing that all of the mental mindfuckery is worth it to get you to drive into a new place to be, a new mental way of thinking. And your cup, your emotions are now recognized as what they are. You don't have a compound of emotions from all of the times you've ignored them in the past. You've recognized it's going to hurt because we've ignored so much of our own emotional pain all of our lives. We've just rubbed some dirt on it and walked on. When we've needed to address those things in us each time they come up, instead of shooing them to the back burner and moving forward like a soldier. We're trying to move out of the soldiers. There's no war. The only war is in our head. And we can alleviate this by recognizing that there's a lot of that past emotional bullshit that we've ignored. And it's not bullshit. That's us. It's us. It's simply you crying out to you. Saying, look at me. If you can't get anybody outside you to look at you, you look at you. And say, wow, I am pretty amazing. I can have all the things in this world I want when I align with positivity, when I align with hope, when I align with recognizing that this thing that doesn't feel good is driving me to what I need and what I want. Recognizing that honestly, I'm going to have to go through some painful moments. It's going to hurt. I cried every day for 2 years, with the exception of a 9-day stretch. I counted 9 days in 2 years. I didn't cry, but I cried every other day for 2 years, and I still cry. But now I'm okay with it. I recognize it as a God-given emotion, and I have to look at my own pain. I don't expect anybody else to. I have to look at it, and I have to say, I'm feeling this pain because blah, blah, blah. And that's okay. And allow myself to cry for as long as I want to cry about it and move on. Now I'm addressing it. I'm not just telling myself, oh, how silly and foolish. I'm not silly and foolish. As I say that with these glasses on. But you know what I mean. My feelings, me as a person, that's what we're recognizing. I'm recognizing that when I hurt, I have every right to hurt. And when I want to be silly and foolish, I have every right to be silly and foolish. Because we need to be more silly and foolish. We're humans. We need to be whatever we want to be. And we don't have to be a slave to our feelings. So this, to me, Gem, is completely... Spirit is asking you to recognize that what pain is coming is necessary. It's called the dark night of the soul in some of the spiritual circles. It's simply pulling up all of the emotions that we've ignored in ourselves all the years to be addressed. So that way, moving forward, they don't trigger us anymore. We can live life in a more aligned manner because now we're not being triggered by past experiences. We've dealt with them. We've looked at our feelings. We've recognized that we are important enough to do that for ourselves. And then that balances you into this beautiful energy of having your cup full, your emotional cups full. You'll get the relationships you want in your life. And not only that, but you'll recognize coming forward when, oh, I see it coming. I'm moving on. For yourself. You'll be able to say what's worth it, what's worth my mental, my mental muscles, and what's worth this one's not my circus, not my flying monkeys. So I hope this has helped, Gemini.